I am very curious to see how things are going to play out as the day goes on, because we have something coming this morning that has had a major impact in the charts and the crypto market over the last 6 to 8 months or so. And the good news about this is that ADA tends to perform well on these days. That's a very promising sign, because ADA is in fact currently broken out of its local trend. It's testing an even bigger breakout, potentially leading us to our next leg in the charts. And there's all these great positive things that are going on right now that we need to have a discussion about. We're going to go ahead and dive right in. But remember, if you guys haven't already, show your support below for the channel. It's growing like crazy. It's all because of you guys. Now, ADA had a surprising day yesterday. I'm going to try to keep my train of thought here. It closed a daily candle up about 3.5%. I don't think anybody realized that that was a very good thing for ADA to do. And you guys can see from this bull flag that we were printing, ADA is in fact currently broken out. That's a great sign, starting a green day. Now, what we do want to see here is we don't want ADA to close this day with a gravestone doji. We don't want it to close on a shooting star candle, which right now it could be either one of those if it does kind of hang around these prices. So just be aware of that, which both of those are bearish signs. But that being said, we have some bullish signs taking place. First of all, breakout in general, great sign. When we look at the hourly chart in terms of ADA, you guys can see this overnight was actually our fourth local retest since Thursday of last week on our bigger, longer term structure. So ADA keeps showing these signs of really wanting to break out in a big way. We still have major accumulation going on in terms of whales. We're still playing into our Wyckoff accumulation model, just to kind of show you guys that we're chopping around in this LPS phase, looking for our next extension. So that's all playing out perfect. We actually did just get a bullish cross on the stochastic RSI on the daily charts, kind of similar to what we did back here, right when ADA was at about 60 cents or so, 61 cents, right before it ran to about 75 cents. Kind of a midway down flip there, right? When we're looking at the 12-hour charts, we're again starting to emerge out of the oversold range. So we have all these things that are actually working, and that's not even all of them. I've forgotten a lot of the stuff, but all these things are actually working in the favor of ADA right now to try to create this next leg. We're still having, BTC trying to push local highs. It actually breached 97K again this morning, and isn't really showing signs of wanting to slow down here. Now, what I will say, first of all, before we get any further into that, what we have coming this morning is our next jobs report. Now, understand that this jobs report is expected to show some hiring cooling, okay? If we are going to see hiring cooling, we still want to see a little bit of rise in unemployment. That's obviously getting closer to the Fed's hand being forced towards lowering interest rates and at least pausing quantitative tightening, but obviously getting us more on the path towards quantitative easing. That is something that's going to be very good for the economy as a whole. So that's kind of what we're looking for today. But what I will say is that, almost every single one of these jobs report days has actually led to green candle days in terms of ADA. You guys can see here, April 4th was a green candle day. This was our only red day here in the recent term. That was March 7th. That was actually after we were correcting off of our major surge that took place back on March 2nd. And we saw a lot of red across the crypto market already leading into that. So that wasn't really a surprise. Saw a green candle day on February 7th, green candle day here on January 10th, and so on and so forth, right? December 6th. If we go all the way back to November, green candle day on November 1st in a sea of red. So you guys get the point. These days, these job report days, as long as there's no weird whacked out data, they tend to be good for ADA. We tend to see a positive trend take place. So that's a great sign. All right. So we're pushing a breakout. We are broken out of our current local structure. Our Wyckoff accumulation model is playing out perfectly, while we're seeing a bullish flip on the stochastic RSI, just to kind of list off again those positive signs we're seeing. Now, what we are seeing as well is a total market cap breakout and retest. All right. This is very important. So we did, in fact, break above $3 trillion yesterday in terms of the total market cap of crypto. Great sign. It's exactly what we wanted to see there. Did come back down overnight, retested the top of this trend, and now we're showing a little bit of resilience again above here. So everything's kind of starting to really align in a big way. And yesterday, we dealt with some chop. There was questions about where things were going to head to, but yet what we continued to see was this resilience amongst institutional money. $422 million worth of BTC added yesterday. So getting kind of back on the trend that we were seeing the prior week. That's awesome, guys. We can't complain about that at all, right? BlackRock, once again, leading the way, $351 million added just by them alone. And you guys can, again, continue to see the very consistent trend here of buying, buying, buying. So what we're seeing right now is retail still just patiently waiting while institutional players are buying, buying, buying. And a really good sign of this is when we're looking at the fear greed index in terms of crypto as a whole, we're still sitting in this neutral range. When you look at the Bitcoin fear greed index, it's in the greed range. All right. So Bitcoin's kind of leading the way, alts are lagging behind. And then there is eventually a moment where that does in fact flip. In fact, when we look at, just to look at USDT dominance again, just look right here, guys, still hanging around 5%, still not dropping off. Okay. So we're at a very good potential tipping point in the market where you could finally start to see us drop in terms of USDT dominance, where you could see alts begin to surge. We're still haven't broken out on the altcoin side. So that's what we have going on right now. Now, overnight, we did get a little bit more data. The Euro unemployment rate rises to 6.2% over the estimate of 6.1%. And actually, CPI came in a little bit hot. That was actually 2.2% versus the expected 2.1%. So inflation's just kind of sticking around, I guess, overseas. So definitely something to monitor moving forward. But, we're we're in a pretty good spot. Very comfortable with where we're at. I'm not, again, saying, this is the major bullish breakout moment, but the more good data we get, the more consistency we see, the more resilience we see from retail, the easier it's going to be to start making these more significant moves to the upside. And again, ADA just keeps showing us it wants to go on a run. Now, that being said, still do have my longs open. I did actually have my SHIB long on Margex. That one closed. I set stop loss. And I closed that one to 26% in profit. So just taking a little bit of profit there, but nothing crazy. My major ADA long still up 150%. The shorter term one I opened up 55% up. So all these things are looking pretty good. Again, if you guys want to check these out, links are in the description below. So again, hopefully these things continue as the day goes on. I want to see institutional money show strength. We need to see resilience from retail, but just pay attention because these days, they tend to bring us some green candle days for ADA. Will that happen once again? So appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.